your host, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Julia. How are you today, Julia?
Hi, Jason. I'm doing great, thank you, and hello to all our listeners. I'm so excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about something that everyone wants: how to speak English like a pro.
Exactly. Speaking English confidently and clearly is one of the most important skills you can have today. Whether it's for work, school, or making new friends, speaking like a pro can open so many doors.
Yes, and don't worry if you're just starting out. Today, we'll break it down into simple steps and tips that you can start using right away, even if you feel shy or nervous.
By the end of this episode, you'll learn the foundations of professional speaking, common mistakes to avoid, and practical ways to speak smoothly and confidently.
And the best part? You don't need to be perfect to speak like a pro. It's about practicing, improving, and feeling confident in your English.
Absolutely. So, grab your notebook or just listen carefully, and let's get started on your journey to speaking English like a pro. So, Julia, before we dive into tips and exercises, let's talk about what it really means to speak like a pro. Many people think it's about having perfect grammar or a native accent, but that's not true.
Exactly, Jason. Speaking like a pro isn't about being perfect. It's about speaking clearly, confidently, and making your ideas easy to understand. Even if you make small mistakes, you can still sound professional.
Right. Think about it. Professional speakers, teachers, or even business people, they communicate their message smoothly and confidently. They don't panic if they forget a word. They just continue, and people understand them.
And another important point is being natural. You don't need complicated words or fancy phrases. Using simple words correctly is often more effective than using difficult words incorrectly.
Exactly. So, when we say speak like a pro, we mean clear pronunciation, confident delivery, simple but correct words, and natural flow. That's something anyone can learn, step by step.
Yes, and today we'll show you practical ways to achieve all of this. By the end, you'll feel more confident speaking English in front of people, whether it's a conversation, a presentation, or even a meeting.
Perfect. So now that we know what it really means, let's move on to the key foundations of speaking like a pro. That's where the real tips start. All right, Julia, now that we know what it means to speak like a pro, let's talk about the key foundations. These are the building blocks that will help anyone sound confident and professional in English.
Yes, and I think the first foundation is clarity. It doesn't matter how advanced your English is if people can't understand you. Speak slowly, clearly, and pronounce words properly. Even small improvements in pronunciation can make a big difference.
Exactly. And the second foundation is confidence. Confidence doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you believe in what you're saying. Even if you make mistakes, speaking confidently keeps your audience engaged.
Another important foundation is tone and pace. Don't speak too fast. A steady, natural pace makes you sound calm and professional. Also, use a friendly tone. This makes your speech more pleasant and easier to follow.
Yes, Julia. And don't forget body language. Even if you're speaking in English over Zoom or in person, gestures, facial expressions, and posture help you communicate better. People notice how you present yourself, not just the words you say.
Finally, we have vocabulary and grammar, but in a smart way. You don't need to use big, complicated words. Using simple words correctly is better than complicated words incorrectly. Focus on common phrases, collocations, and everyday English.
Absolutely. So to summarize, the key foundations are clarity, speak slowly and pronounce correctly. Confidence, believe in your words. Tone and pace, speak naturally. Body language, gestures, and posture. Help, vocabulary, and grammar. Simple and correct words work best.
If you focus on these foundations, you're already on the path to speaking like a pro. And the good news? You can practice all of these every day, even for a few minutes.
Exactly. And speaking of practice, in the next segment, we'll talk about common mistakes English learners make, so you can avoid them and progress faster. All right, Julia, now that we know the foundations, let's talk about something very important. Common mistakes that English learners make. If we know these mistakes, we can avoid them and speak like a pro faster.
Yes. And I think one of the biggest mistakes is translating from your native language. Many learners think in their language first and then translate to English. This can make your sentences sound unnatural.
Exactly. For example, someone might say, I have hunger instead of I'm hungry. The words are correct, but the sentence doesn't sound natural. Thinking directly in English helps you speak more fluently.
Another common mistake is speaking too fast. Some learners are nervous and try to rush through their sentences. This makes it hard for others to understand and can lower your confidence.
Yes, and on the opposite side, some learners speak too slowly or pause too much, which can make your speech sound uncertain. Finding a steady pace is key.
Then there's overusing difficult words. Some learners think using big or fancy words will make them sound smart, but it often confuses the listener. Simple, clear words are always better.
And let's not forget fear of making mistakes. Many people stop speaking because they're afraid of errors. But mistakes are a natural part of learning. Even professional speakers make small mistakes sometimes.
Exactly. The goal is to communicate clearly, not to be perfect. Mistakes help you learn and improve.
So to sum up, the common mistakes are translating from your native language, speaking too fast or too slow, overusing difficult words, fear of making mistakes.
If you avoid these mistakes, you'll see your English speaking improve very quickly, and you'll sound much more like a pro.
Absolutely. And in the next part, we'll talk about strategies to speak clearly and confidently, so you can put all these lessons into practice. All right, Julia, now that we know the common mistakes, let's talk about strategies to speak clearly and confidently. These are the steps that will make your English sound professional.
Yes, and the first strategy I always recommend is slow down. Don't rush your words. Speaking slowly helps you pronounce each word correctly and gives your listener time to understand.
Exactly. A steady pace is much better than speaking fast and making mistakes. Another strategy is pause and think. It's okay to take a short pause to gather your thoughts before speaking. It actually makes you sound more confident.
Then we have practice speaking aloud every day. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, speaking English aloud builds your confidence and helps you get used to the sounds of English. You can practice with sentences, dialogues, or even reading aloud.
Yes, and don't forget, record yourself. Listening to your own voice helps you notice mistakes, pronunciation issues, and areas to improve. It might feel strange at first, but it's very effective.
Another strategy is use simple sentences. Don't try to use long, complicated sentences at first. Simple sentences help you express your ideas clearly and make fewer mistakes.
And finally, practice with real people if you can. Speaking with friends, teachers, or language partners will boost your confidence and teach you how to respond naturally.
Absolutely. Remember, confidence comes with practice. The more you speak, the more confident you become. Even small daily practice makes a big difference over time.
So to summarize, the key strategies are slow down, pause, and think practice. Speaking aloud every day. Record yourself. Use simple sentences. Speak with real people whenever possible.
If you follow these strategies consistently, you'll notice a big improvement in your clarity and confidence in just a few weeks.
Perfect. Next, we'll talk about how to speak smoothly like a pro, including tips on linking words and natural rhythm. All right, Julia, now that we've covered confidence and clarity, let's talk about how to speak smoothly. This is one of the most important parts of sounding like a pro.
Yes, Jason. Speaking smoothly means your words flow naturally without too many pauses, ums, or ahs. One simple way to do this is to link words together. For example, instead of saying, I am going to the store slowly, word by word, you can say it naturally, like I'm gonna go to the store.
Exactly. Linking words makes your English sound more natural. Another tip is practicing intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice in a sentence. It makes your speech more interesting and easier to understand. For example, When asking a question, your voice usually rises at the end. Are you ready?
Yes. And rhythm is important too. English has a natural rhythm with stressed and unstressed words. Try to stress the important words in a sentence and say the smaller words a little faster. For example, I really love learning English. Notice how really and English are emphasized.
Another strategy is practice with tongue twisters or short phrases. This may sound funny, but it helps you connect words smoothly and improves pronunciation.
And don't forget to practice thinking in English. When you think in English, your sentences come out naturally, and you pause less to translate from your native language.
So to summarize, speaking smoothly like a pro includes linking words together naturally, practicing intonation, paying attention to rhythm and stress, using tongue twisters or short phrases, thinking in English.
If you practice these tips every day, your English will start to flow naturally, and people will notice how professional and confident you sound.
Perfect. And next, we'll discuss building confidence for public speaking, an essential skill for any pro speaker. All right, Julia. Now let's talk about one of the most important skills for speaking like a pro. Building confidence for public speaking. Many learners feel nervous or afraid to speak in front of others.
Yes, Jason. And the first step is preparation. When you prepare what you want to say, you feel more confident. Even simple notes or key points can make a huge difference.
Exactly. Another important step is practice, practice, practice. Rehearse your speech or sentences aloud. Record yourself or practice in front of a mirror. The more you practice, the less nervous you will feel.
Also, remember to focus on your message, not yourself. Many people get nervous because they worry about mistakes or what others think. Instead, focus on communicating your ideas clearly. That takes the pressure off.
Yes, and don't forget positive self-talk. Before speaking, tell yourself, I can do this. I am prepared. My English is improving every day. This simple habit boosts your confidence a lot.
Finally, start small. Begin with short conversations, presentations to friends, or even speaking on camera by yourself. Gradually, you'll feel confident in bigger situations.
So, to summarize, building confidence includes prepare what you want to say. Practice aloud regularly. Focus on your message, not yourself. Use positive self-talk. Start small and grow gradually.
If you follow these steps consistently, public speaking will become much easier and you'll start speaking like a pro naturally.
Perfect. And next, we'll share a daily routine to speak like a pro, so you can practice every day and see real improvement. All right, Julia. Now that we've covered strategies and confidence, let's talk about a daily routine that will help you speak like a pro. Small, consistent practice is the key.
Yes, Jason. You don't need to spend hours every day. Even 15 to 30 minutes of focused practice can make a big difference over time.
Here's a simple routine I recommend. Listen to English 5 to 10 minutes. You can watch a short video, podcast, or even songs. Focus on pronunciation and flow. Speak aloud 5 to 10 minutes. Repeat sentences you heard. Practice dialogues or record yourself. Think in English 5 minutes. Try to describe your day, your plans, or simple ideas in English in your mind or aloud.
Exactly. And remember, consistency is more important than long hours. Practicing a little every day will give much better results than practicing a lot just once in a while.
Also, you can gradually increase your practice as you get more confident. The goal is to make English a part of your daily life.
Yes, if you follow this routine, soon you'll notice your speech becoming smoother, clearer, and more confident. That's how pros speak.
Perfect. And next, we'll quickly summarize everything we learned today and give our final encouragement to all learners. All right, Julia, we've covered a lot today. Let's quickly summarize the key points for our listeners.
Yes, today we learned what it means to speak like a pro, the key foundations of professional speaking, common mistakes to avoid, and strategies to speak clearly and smoothly.
We also discussed building confidence for public speaking and shared a simple daily routine that anyone can follow to improve step by step.
Exactly. And the most important thing to remember is that perfection is not the goal. Speaking like a pro is about clarity, confidence, and consistency. Mistakes are part of learning, so don't be afraid to speak.
Yes, keep practicing every day, even if it's just 15 to 30 minutes, and focus on small improvements. Over time, you'll see amazing progress.
Remember, every professional speaker started just like you, by taking small steps every day. You can do it too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of English Learning Podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And start practicing today to speak like a pro.
Yes. Keep practicing, stay confident, and soon you'll be speaking English naturally and smoothly. See you in the next episode.